fact there were skulls that were made into mountains and hills from their slaughter and massacre. But the Muslims persevered and kept going. And then came the time of Salah al-Ayubi, where the Crusaders saw a weakness in Muslims, and they entered at the time after Umar ibn Khattab had entered into Jerusalem and welcomed the Christians and Jews. Then after time, the Crusades made a conquest or an attack, not a conquest, an attack we call it, on the Muslims inside of Jerusalem, just before Salah al-Ayubi, when the sultans of the Muslims in the Muslim world were engaged in corruption. The sultans were drinking alcohol. They were allowing their people to indulge in this corruption. Adultery and fornication was spread, and wealth was being distributed unjustly, and there was injustice and imbalance while the Khalifa was there. And a man by the name of Nur ad-Din Zangi, a commander, a great righteous commander, tried to stop all this. And he gathered an army, and the Muslims actually donated 10-folds of what they used to give to the Khilafah, to the Muslim society, the community. And they gathered military and arms, and still they lost. They couldn't enter Jerusalem and take it over from the Crusades in the 12th century, in 1099, until Salah ad-Din al-Ayubi came along and made a big change within the Muslim community. And truly he abolished the corruption, bi'idhnillah, abolished the selling of alcohol and the drinking of wine, and adultery, fornication, and injustice with the wealth and distribution until the Muslims returned. He gathered that army and he entered bi'idhnillah, by the will of Allah, with righteousness, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him victory after nearly 100 years. Do you know, in that 100 years, not only were there no Muslims inside of Jerusalem and Palestine, there weren't even any Jews, because the Crusaders killed them, massacred more Muslims than ever before, and more Jews than ever before. And they put the cross on top of the Dome of the Rock. Can you imagine the big, massive cross on top of the Dome of the Rock? That gold one? And they turned Masjid al-Aqsa, the one in front, into a livestock place where they left pigs and feces inside of Masjid al-Aqsa. No salat, no adhan, no Quran in the entire place. Do you want it worse than that? Yet, the Muslims didn't give up, and it was about their righteousness until they came back. And then finally, at the end of the Ottoman Empire, when it fell, and the British Mandate came in, and these people came in and took over by force and forged their way in and stole the lands and homes of its indigenous people. What happened? Again, we are back where we started. And to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is all decree and command. Here is the thing, brothers and sisters. You look at the history and you see, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, days are only numbered. And how do we look at this entire world? A Muslim learns from the people of Gaza the following. Number one, we find that unlike us, they don't lose hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And inshallah we don't either. And I am extremely proud of the generation that has come up, some religious, some not, some believers, some not even Muslims, some following different ideologies, but at least there is a sense of justice in the world that has woken up, and an awareness that didn't exist before. Allah works in mysterious ways. But we find that there were people who questioned, where is God?